tomorrow when stormy weather comes. Make me realize that you're my woman. Yeah, you're my woman. Yeah, won't you help me through the day? Won't you help me through the night?
All right, how is everybody doing? How is everybody doing? I just told Olympiu about your message, the monastery. So, but this is not Olympiu, this is Orlando. I just so how are you guys? How's everybody doing? Um, Markets are quite quiet right now. So we're going to see a couple of trade ideas that I have going on. How are you, Marina? How is everybody? So yeah, let's have a look at what we have going on. Right? Hi, Vince. How are you? Um, right. So we're going to start by looking at the Japanese yen. And if you have any questions, just type it on the chat, of course, as always. So I am long the Japanese yen, guys. Um, well, not I'm not long the Japanese yen. I have an order to buy the Japanese yen by shorting one of the Japanese yen markets. And the idea is basically this big bullish move on the Japanese yen and price holding with the previous broken base, right? So basically, what I want to do is capitalize on this bear trap. How are you, Wee Maolin? Right. So on the shorter time frames, this is what I'm looking at. A break of this bullish flag on the Japanese yen. This is Japanese yen basket, FXEM's Japanese yen basket. And yeah, I placed an order to buy the Japanese yen by placing an order to short one of the Japanese yen market, uh, and right now, there has been a lack of follow through on that move. But I am still bullish above the 93.20, 93.30 level, let's call it, right? We do have um, data done from the US in about an hour and a half, right? We have initial jobless claims, continuing jobless claims, and yeah, that's about it. Tomorrow we have a non-farm payroll, so that's also why markets might be a little slow. So the Japanese yen is finding buyers, and what I do like, I'm gonna show you the lower time frames, right? The 50-minute chart, right? What I do like about that setup is that the Japanese yen printed a new higher high, right? So basically invalidating the immediate bearish move, which is this flag that I am playing. All right, so uh, for the stream, for the live show, I'm willing to find a Japanese yen short. I'm sorry, a Japanese yen long, or a short on any Japanese yen market. Let me just have a look at my uh, order here. Yeah, it's about to get filled. So the best market that I found an opportunity for today is here on pound yen. Right, so let's have a look on the daily. That doesn't look like much. Let's have a look at the 4-hour chart. Let's just delete all the drawings here. Again, if you have any questions, just post it on the chat. Just type it on the chat, right? Massive bearish move. Basically, we came back to retest those or this previous base, kind of retesting these previous base. What I like about current price action is that we are, or price is, being kept to the upside by this pivotal level. This historic pivotal level is quite important. And whilst price is trading below that pivotal level, and the Japanese yen continues to find buyers, I am looking for shorts here or longs on the Japanese yen. On the lower time frames, let's first of all look at the hourly, and we need to hurry because actually um, I'm going to go through my thought process later or after the placing that order because Japanese yen is rallying. So basically, I'm looking here at a possible 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, placing my sell stops below this level, below these lows, right? Placing my sell stops below this level. Actually, I'm going to place that order right now. If you um, I'm going to do that with you guys, of course. So let me go to the 50-minute chart on my MT4. Basically, my sell stops would be at the 150 14 with stop losses at the 150.83, right? Indicator list, just calculate my size. 150, uh, 13, I think, and 150. Hold on. I'm just placing that order. I'll give you guys the correct. Um, so basically, what I'm looking at is a possible 1-to-1. I'm gonna put on that here, right? A retest of today's lows, right? Uh, just a second, guys. I'm just placing that on my MT4. So it's a 115.14. 150.14 with stop losses at the 150.82. Right. New order. Um, 017. Right. Order sell stop on the 150, 150.14, 150, 82, and targets at the 149.63. place. Right, so basically, no, target is that of 149, yeah, 140, 149, 48. That is my bad. Right, 149, 48.
Geopolitical news. UK Prime Minister Johnson's spokesman saying UK working closely with US on removing steel tariffs focused on finding resolution.
Right, let me just hide this a little bit. And let's go through this trade again. Possible shorts, right, at the break of this previous base, the immediate base on the very low time frames. I need price to break with these lows. My stop losses has to be above the daily highs and targeting the daily lows, right, at the 149, 47, 48 or so for a 1-to-1 to 1 ratio on this possible short. Right, so let me just grab this very quickly. I need to send that VIP trade to my VIPs. That is a free one, guys. If you are not part of the VIP, right? So let me just do just that. So basically, I'm risking. Uh, Let me see. Actually, I'm going to delete that order because I am not getting a one-to-one on this trade, right? So I am not placing that order, just deleting it right now. So let's find maybe another market to go long on the Japanese yen that is not the pound yen, right? Let me have a look at the chat. Off topic. Why learn to trade use Telegram instead of Discord? 53K members and there is no structure in the post in Telegram. Confusing. Yeah, the reason is that this is just a let me just show you. This is just a broadcast, right? Um, I mean, we don't have a chat. We don't have anything at all. This is just a broadcast channel for you to get our trades through that, or VIP trades through there. Um, I mean, and I don't think we're going to, start a Discord or what you seem to
Brexit
want
news.
a
Irish
community
Foreign
where you
Minister
can chat, post yourself,
Cleverly says
etc.
there are roadblocks
That I mean,
towards
that is out of the
making
question
a vote.
actually, just because we need to moderate everything, and we have a ton of members, and it's just not what we're looking for.
More from the
Uh,
Irish
the
Foreign
next
Minister
year,
saying
when
there
we
hasn't been a
start with the
breakthrough movement.
educational, you know, uh, products, then we are going to have a community just for traders that get involved in that. Um, yeah, they get involved in the course. USD is forming head and shoulders. Let's have a look.
Further from the
GBOs, let's
Irish
have a
Foreign
look. I
Minister
have
saying
8
it
cap and
likely to
deposited
resolve all protocol
$250, but
issues by
still
the
no
end of the year.
VIP signals. I sent many emails, but no reply. It has been almost 48 hours. Well, I mean, just have to have a little patience. We have a ton of people subscribing through 8cap, and it takes a while, but you're going to get the signals. Don't worry about it. You're going to get access to the VIP group. Hi, Chetan, how are you? Right, so let's have a look at some other Japanese yen market. Yesterday's Japanese yen short, long on this Aussie yen short yield 90 pips. That was quite good. Cat yen. I mean, what I don't like about most of this Japanese yen markets is that the down move is quite overextended. Um, you know, um, yeah. So I'm not getting a one-to-one on the pound yen, so I'm not taking that trade. Let's have a look at the US dollar yen. Yeah, again, the US dollar yen. Um, retesting retesting November lows. Yeah, those are November lows, right? Yeah, November lows. So and there is no setup here. Hello, friend. I will. Will you ever check emails? My Longhorn account is all set up in 48 hours. Yeah, yeah. Just be a little patient. Sport team will get back to you, and you will get access. Don't worry. You know. So that's a shame on the pound yen, right? That's a shame on the pound yen. But there's no setup. Even well, let's have a look. Let's have a real look at this. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna place that order again, targeting the 149.25 or October lows. Again, I'm going to place that order. October lows is at the 149.23. So basically, I'm replacing that order. So bear with me just a second. Sell stops at the 150.14. Stop losses at the 150.82. And targeting October lows for a continuation to the downside at the 149.25. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the risk to reward ratio on this trade. Now it's looking much better. 1.3 R, which is fine. I will manage that trade if I get triggered on it very aggressively, in the sense that should I get triggered on this, so let's put on that, oh boy, let's put on that sell stop again here. 149.25 or so. Here we go. So that's looking a lot better. 1.3 or so. And should I get triggered on my short on the pound yen, which is a long on the Japanese yen, looking for further upside on the Japanese yen. Here it is. And as you can see, buyers are jumping in, and that flag is in play at the moment. So pretty cool. So let's have a look at that. Let me just place that order here. Indicator list. Right. Cool. Uh, so I said 150 14. Um, Stop losses are the 150.82, targeting the 149.20. Cool. Shit. 150.14. What the hell is this? Hold on. I'm sorry. Oh boy. Now. Cool. So I'm just placing that order on 274, and I need to send that straight to the VIP team. So um, please be a little patient, and we will start the show in a jiffy. 82, 149, and 149.25. Cool. So risking 1%, 1.3 R. That's cool, right?
10 minutes
And
now to the bottom of the hour. We are awaiting
I just need to
US
send
challenger job
this
cuts year on year for November, which came at a prior of negative
to the
71.7%.
VIP team. Huh? So that's a 154, 150.14. Stop loss at 150.82, and targeting a 149.25 for a 1.3 R trade. Right, so this is the VIP team. Let me show you a little bit inside. It's pretty cool what we do. Every single piece of or every single VIP signal or every single VIP trade, I'm sorry, comes with a short video. All right, traders. Welcome
Where I
back
go
to.
through my thought process um, on that setup. You know, also they get to the second news, trade management, etc. So if you want to be part of the VIP team, just click the link below in the description of this video. And if you use code BLACK, you're going to get 50% off of your monthly subscription. And that promotion ends today in a few hours. So go ahead. Any advice on Nasdaq and the S&P 500? Which levels to buy the dip or still no bottom confirmation? Well, mate, I have no clue, but we can definitely have a look at those markets. All right.
So that's pretty cool on the Japanese yen side. The US dollar, the US dollar, yeah, we're going to talk about the US dollar a little later. Let's have a look at equities. Um, yeah, so everything looks very bearish on equity side. Yesterday, uh, yesterday we had a big drop on the Dow. Big drop, 3.8, 3% move to the downside from the high to the lows of the day. Just by looking at the 4-hour chart, let's just get rid of all these drawings and let's go to the 8-hour chart, right? There's still room to move to the downside, right? Um, you know, I don't see a big buyer zone at current prices, more so because we are retesting November lows. Uh, that, my friends, is something that I do like for the short side on this market. Hold on, just put this right here. On the 8-hour chart, right? I mean, I'm not the one to be um, calling bottoms in the market. That's not something I do. But, just by looking at zones, let me just thicken this chart out for you because this is pretty cool, right? Just look by looking at historic price action, right? Where have buyers jumped in this market, right? Buyers have jumped in around the 33, 750, 33.75 O level. Um, right here, you can see buyers jumped in here, and again here, right? So big buyers are placed around the 33,800 level. Now, right now, this this is 8-hour candle, but this week we
Geopolitical
had a
news. Senior
big
State Department
break
officials say
of
this meeting between Blinken and Lavrov
November
was
lows.
serious, so will
That is
be
a
followed.
massive red flag for shorts, in my opinion, right? And whilst price is still trading below this level, I would be looking for shorts, right? Now, on the hourly chart, right? On the hourly chart, let's have a look at the hourly because this is quite cool. Um, yeah, let's just delete all the drawings again. So on the hourly chart, on the short term, right, on the short term price, after this big move to the downside, you can see that price has been chopping to the upside in what seems to be a bearish flag, right? I don't have a setup to short the Dow, more so because we do have unemployment claims today, and I am not keen of getting involved in U.S. equities pre-market just because the open is always super volatile, right? So shorting right here looks good, right? And if I mean, if we're targeting that 33,800 level, let's have a look, right? Let's have a look because we actually might have a possibility here um, on a break of yesterday's lows. if we are targeting around 33,800, is it the 33,800? 33, I mean, yeah, 33, 33,800. We are at 30, well, okay, let's have a look at this. Uh, Profit 33,800. I don't think this is going to work like this, right? Is it 33,800? Uh, quite possibly, but I don't know why this is. Okay, so let's hold on. Let's have a look at this. I really really don't understand why this is happening. But oh yeah, hold on. Uh-huh. So the 33,800 is right here.
3 minutes now into the bottom
Yeah,
of the
and
hour
as you
when we
can
get
see, I
US
mean,
challenger job cuts year on year for November, which came in
there, I
prime
mean,
at negative
there's
71.7%.
absolutely no setup to go short at the moment. Uh, um, if we're looking at the 8 hour chart, what I was looking at is a break of yesterday's lows. So basically, yeah, I mean, targets are right there. I mean, if we were targeting the real October lows at around the 33 600 level, we might have something. But right now, this flag is completely breaking. So I don't know. Maybe we will have a possibility of um, shorting it down, but we're going to have uh, to wait and see. 33,600. I mean, I don't like the setup. Let's have a look at the S&P 500, right? Same thing. Shorts on the S&P 500. Complete yesterday. Price completely broke with a power buy zone. That's why I didn't get involved on the long side.
S&P commenting on
The
emerging markets,
retest of
recent developments
this
could
September's
present
highs
downside risk to current rates and
was my
improving
power
the
buy
news
zone.
plus
Right
stable
now,
outlook.
there is no or yesterday there was no setup to go long. And again, same
So that
story,
was S&P
right?
commenting on
Flag
Turkey,
breaking
saying
out,
recent developments could present
price
downside
or
risk to current
sellers
rating.
jumping in, but there is no setup. Let's have a look at the Nasdaq. Same story. You know, even though the Nasdaq is yet to hit my power buy zone, September highs too. I wouldn't be looking, or I'm not going to be looking for longs today on the Nasdaq. I mean, the only scenario where I will be looking for longs is if we get a clean fake out and price, holding that 15
Less
700
than a minute
level,
till US
and
data.
that would be, my friends, the power buy zone that I'm looking at. Yeah. But if you notice that ABC pullback played out in completely beautiful, right? But that was a thing of beauty, that ABC pullback on the Nasdaq. And I think it hit calculated targets to the upside. Let's have a look. Yeah, it hit calculated targets. A little bit overextended, but there you go. That was a nice move on the Nasdaq. Right, so
10 seconds.
let's come back to the Japanese yen a little bit. Again, I can't find a setup to go along on the Japanese yen that involves a
Minus
good risk-to. Actually,
77%
we did,
for
right, on the
US
pound
challenger
yen.
job cuts year on year for November.
The
That's minus
pound,
77%.
the pound is still pretty very much under pressure at the moment, whilst trading below the 134 level. So anything below the 134 level on the pound to me is bearish, which is a good sign for that possible pound yen short on further downside. The pound, of course, bearish pressure on the pound and bullish pressure on the Japanese yen, which brings double bearish pressure on this market. So let's wait and see what happens, right? What about GBP Aussie? I don't know. What are you looking at on the GBP Aussie, mate? Why don't you tell me what you're looking at on the GBP Aussie? And I'll have a look
but just sending a currency pair on the chat doesn't work here. Right. So I'm really getting, I'm really digging this possible short on the Dow. But again, it's too early. It's really, really, really too early. And yeah, like I told you, I'm not keen of trading equities pre-market. If you're going to trade equities pre-market. Um, Maybe you have a low volume strategy or scalping strategy, but trading pre-market and holding through the open, it's just not profitable for me at least, so I don't do it. Right, I was also looking at gold, but again, another fake out to the downside in this market, and gold still trading in my no trade zone, even though what I was looking at were some possible longs, but really I really don't like it. And because that setup is less than optimal, the probabilities of success of that setup are just way too low for me to take that trade. All right, so let's continue to look. You guys have any questions, about anything at all, the VIP group, etc.? Uh, I'm more than happy to answer. And you should take advantage of that 50% promotion, that 50% discount that ends up today. We rode that Black Friday promotion until today, and we made it 50% uh, discount on your monthly subscription, so you can actually test our VIP services. So if you want to get advantage of that 50% promotion, that 50% discount, just go to in the link below the video, and use code BLACK at the checkout, and you will get that 50% discount. Let's have a look at yeah. So today I got stopped out on a short that I had on the Euro US dollar. On my original stops were all the way above here, and what I did is I moved my stops above what was at the moment today's highs, and I got stopped out at about half of my original risk, which is completely fine. Resistance level in GBP Aussie. All right. No, mate. Yeah, this market is super strong. This market is really, really strong. You know, um, oh yeah, Private Monk, Euro US dollar. That's right. You told me that you were looking at a head and shoulders on the USD. So you're looking at an inverse head and shoulders on the Euro USD, right? Yeah, I can see it here on the 8-hour chart. I can see what you're looking at. You're looking at this, right? An inverse head and shoulder. Yeah, I mean, it looks good, but let me tell you something. Personally speaking, I don't trade head and shoulders, just because that formation is the less profitable formation to trade, for me at least, but it looks good, mate. It looks good. Now, the thing about this is this, right? This is the 8-hour chart. Just have a look at this fucking market. All right, so we're looking at May 21st highs. This is a massive, massive bear market, right? We're talking about an 8.8% move to the downside from May highs to November lows, right? Yeah, an inverse head and shoulder is playing out right now. I can see it. I can see what you're looking at. But let's think about this, right? Let's think about this. What are you, fundamentally speaking, what is going to drive this market up, right? The US dollar, one side, is super strong.
go back. Not at the moment. And the US dollar is actually printing a head and shoulders if you, this is the DXY. Here you go. Possibly head and shoulders. Anything above that 95, 70 level or so, I always tell you, is bullish for me. The US dollar is, in fact, very strong, right? It's very strong. Fundamentally speaking, um, too, because if you follow, economic data or economic releases, the language coming out of the Federal Reserve is more and more hawkish, right? Inflation is rising in the United States, worldwide actually, right? So eventually, central banks are going to have to face inflation and are going to have to intervene to lower inflation. The way that they do this is by hiking rates and easing their asset purchasing program. That is very bullish for the currency, right? That would be very bullish for the US dollar. Bullish on the US dollar side brings bearish pressure on the Euro USD. Now, on the Euro side, I can't speak on monetary policy on the euro side because I haven't read about it in a couple of weeks, so I'm not up to date. But and actually, but nothing. I am not up to date on that. Um, but um, yeah, I don't do that basing a trade just on a candlestick formation, I'm sorry, or a chart formation or whatever. I look at what would trigger this bullish breakout on this market. What would I be trading in this market? Would I be trading the US dollar or the euro? And because I am not up to date on monetary policy on the euro side, I wouldn't trade the upside here on this market. Now, having said that, of course, uh, that could be on the long term, right? But having said that, I see your head and shoulders. I see your head and shoulders. The 1 hour chart looks awful, awful to me. Now, let's go back to the 8 hour chart. Let's go over to the 4 hour chart. And yeah, the 113, let's call it the 113.80 level is super strong. Right? You're more than welcome, Private. That's why I do this, and I mean, that's why I do this. There's enough money in this market for everybody to profit, so why would I keep, my knowledge, you know, my little knowledge for myself, if it brings value to you guys, you're not going to take money out of my pocket. I'm not going to take money out of my pocket. We might both take money out of the big bank's pocket. Just a little bit of sense, right? That would be cool. But yeah, technically speaking, I see what you're looking at, the 113.80 level, super strong here. Again, I don't, I wouldn't play the breakout in the sense that I wouldn't place a buy stop here, just because of how this massive mean reversal candle printed, right? At this level. So sellers, buyer side, there is going to be tons of sell orders here. So buyers are going to have to be very strong to swipe with all the sell orders that are in place here, right? Remember that this is an auction, and just by looking at historic price action and candlesticks themselves, you can see where big orders might be placed and where they have been placed in the past. So sell orders are in place here. Buyers are going to have to be very strong, right? Now, having said that, if we have a red day on the US dollar, that, my friend, would trigger most definitely that breakout that you're talking about, right? But again, as you can see here, 4 hour chart on the DXY, super, super buy heavy, right? That 95.70 level, super buy heavy. And yeah, that's why I'm still looking for longs on the USD. right? Even though right now price action looks a little bit sketchy in the sense that we are having, chopping around, but candlesticks give and historic price action gives you information, and the information that I get is that here we have a ton of buyers, right? And today we do not have a big enough high impact event to drive price lowers, to drive prices in the USD lower, right? Maybe tomorrow, non-farm payrolls. Let's have a look at what we uh, are expecting tomorrow on non-farm payrolls. Right. Apparently, the forecast is that last month, 553,000 new jobs were created in the U.S. economy. We are expecting a drop in the unemployment rate by 0.1%, and average hourly earnings remain steady. This is very bullish. You know, the data of course, that I do that on farm payrolls Friday, that the data that I do like to that I focus on is average hourly earnings, right? Why? Because it really doesn't matter if 250,000 new jobs were created, but if average hourly earnings drop by 0.5%, I mean, that never happens. But just imagine worst case scenario, right? Well, it's not that it doesn't matter that new jobs were created, but the buying power for a sustained lifestyle for those new jobs is not it's not high enough, right? With uh, with wages coming down. So when that happens, it's what we call mixed information, right? And that is when on on-farm payrolls Fridays you get super volatile moves to the upside and to the downside, right? But when everything aligns the way that it's supposed to align tomorrow, we're going to have a very bullish day on the USD. Now that, my friends, is just a forecast. And I am not saying that this is going to happen. No one knows what's going to happen. Do not front run high impact events, right? Let's have a look at what's going on here. Well, goddamn, I got triggered on my Japanese yens. Oh yeah, that is a thing of beauty. Just got triggered here. Short the pound yens. All right, so this sucks. All right. Okay, just got triggered on my pound yen longs. And yeah, I mean, it's looking pretty, very, very good on the long side on the Japanese yen. So let's focus on the Japanese yen. Should the Japanese yen break with today's highs and yesterday's highs, we're going to have a massive rally, which will bring us to profit. Right. Any more questions, guys? I've been live for 45 minutes. I can't believe that. I mean, time really, really does uh, fly when you're talking economics. Okay. Uh-huh. I got stopped out on this US dollar Swiss franc long just now. So, but I am in two Japanese yen long positions that are in the monies. So that is cool. Mhm. Right. Everything is pointing out at I'm sorry, at a massive return on those Japanese yens longs,
right? So, what I like to do, what I do basically is focus on one currency. Focus on one currency, right? In hindsight, it was a mistake to go long here on the US dollar Swiss franc. But I mean, that's on my journal. That's a note on my journal. Everybody makes mistakes. I should, let's have a look. I mean, let's go through this losing trade, right? You always have to go through your trades. And here was my setup this on this market. I was trading the upside here on a break of yesterday's highs, targeting the highs, right? This was a US dollar driven trade, right? I got triggered and right. The mistake was not getting long here. Well, yes, it was it was not an A plus setup. And In hindsight, I should have closed this trade here below the 92 level. You know, and that would have instead of losing 1 R, I would have lost I don't know, zero point 0.5 R. But uh, that is for my journal, for my notes. That's why I don't like trading this market. But yesterday, this is what I was looking at on the USD, right? I traded that because of this spike down, right? Big buyers jumping in on the US dollar. I got triggered, etc. Um, Again, uh, and this, I mean, I'm doing this because this is exactly what I do, and everything that I'm telling you here on this losing trade, and analyzing this losing trade is what I put on my journal. You know, right? So here is where I should have closed that trade and the rejection of these highs. Yeah, that was a big, big mistake of my on my side. Noted. Not going to happen again. This is an ever learning. That's the word, ever learning. You never start to learn, never stop learning. You know, uh, I mean, if you are really, really looking to, you know, uh, do this at least, part time. Uh, it's so important to journal your trades, to acknowledge your mistakes, and to note everything on those losing trades. Most importantly, because those losing trades is what, analyzing the losing trades, analyzing your mistakes, it's called leak finding. You know, Now I have found a leak that I just plugged, so my boat will not sink. Yeah, at first it's going to drive you crazy, being this thorough with your losing trades, but I'm telling you, it's just a piece of advice. And everybody takes losses. Everybody takes losses. And this trade is going to be marked in my journal as a learning trade. That's how I call them. That's how I mark them. And when you have a big enough sample size, you can mine the data. You know, but yeah, a this was a mistake. It was a bad trade. You know, the trade itself was not bad. What was bad on my side was how I managed it. You know, um, yeah. I mean, why would I hide my losing trades? I don't know, but people do. Uh, I do believe that.
your losing trades are way, way more important than the ones that you win. Because if you only focus on the trades that you win, you're never going to learn why it is that you are losing the trades that you lose, right? And how could you have minimized that loss? For example, here I took a full loss, 1 hour loss. That could have been, this the US dollar Swiss franc, yeah, that could have been a zero point 0.4 hour loss, right? Um, yeah. Also, no, I mean my time stop did not get triggered on this trade actually. Yeah, it did not. But again, yeah, it did not. But again, just a piece of advice on how to learn from yeah, from your mistakes or your not your mistakes, but I mean it was a mistake, but how you learn from your historic performance. That's it, right? I can stick around for a couple of more 10 minutes or so if you are willing to ask some questions.
Geopolitical
Um,
news. Russia
the,
hopes US Russia
let's have a
summit to
look
take
at
place
this.
in coming days. That's coming from IFAX.
Right. So um, if you're not part of the VIP team, you're not going to get my trade management on this. But I will manage it very aggressively in the sense that well, I got triggered, right? So yeah, 14, barely got triggered. Now price is moving up. Okay, that's fine. That's completely fine, right? If you look at, I'm going to use the actual lines. If you look at the immediate structure in this market, it has been broken with, right? Boom. There you go. It's right. I'm going to use this actually, the highs, the highs of the structure to show you exactly what I'm looking for, or looking at, I'm sorry. Cool. So basically, this is the structure that I'm trading. It has been broken with. We are retesting that set structure that just broke. So this little bit of a drawdown does not concern me, right? At all. At all. The Japanese yen is super, super strong. This is the 50-minute chart. Right now, we are seeing some sales. I don't look at the 50-minute chart. I really don't look at the 50-minute chart at all. I'm just looking at the 50-minute chart just to show you guys what I'm looking at actually. So basically, this trade is pretty much um, still. Oh, what I was going to do is I was going to tell you how I'm going to manage should price move to the upside. So yeah, there's a couple of levels that I'm looking at here on the 50-minute chart, and the reason that I'm looking at the 50-minute chart on this particular trade is just to show you the let's call it the make it or break it level for this trade, right? Um, so basically, should price move above the 150.44.45 level, or at this previous pivotal level, right? I will consider closing it manually, right? I'm really not that concerned about a pullback towards that previous broken low. That is completely normal. Yeah, and basically that's what I'm going to do. Should price break with these lows, previous lows, right, previous pivotal level, and hold above it, I will close it manually on a zero point 0.4 R loss or something like that, right? Japanese yens, right? Big sell-off on the Japanese yen, but let's go back to the hourly. This is looking very good, still looking very good, Um, on that flag breakout. So do not, I mean, I don't panic close my trades, never, never. I do have a plan for each and every single one of them. And my plan on how to manage that
Emerging
trade is
market
what I
news.
just told you,
Turkish
that
new finance
150,
minister Nebati
45 level
says
or so
Turkey on a path
is
to
the
new
make it or break
economic
it level for
independence
this
and
long on the
high interest
Japanese
rates
yen
are
or
not a
short on the
priority.
pound yen. All right, so yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Japanese yen. You know, this is the other level that I was looking on the Japanese yen. Let me show you actually the 8-hour chart here. Um, uh-huh. Right, so basically this is the next level that I'm looking here on this market, 94.20 level or so. So um, basically this is my trade on the Japanese yen, right? Of course, a long on the Japanese yen by shorting the pound yen, right? But quick profits being taken because of October highs, right? We are trading above November highs, so I am looking for a retest of October highs, which means that from current prices, I'm looking at a possible 0.62% rally, which is enough to give me that push on the pound yen. To on the pound yen, this is 8-hour chart. On the pound yen to hit my targets. Oh boy. Right here at the retest of those lows. So I'm looking at about a what 0.56% move to the downside on the pound yen with a rally on the yen. So I always look at the possible moves that you're looking at one currency, because I mean, it doesn't make sense to, to put my targets all the way at the 148 if the Japanese yen is going to find resistance um, at at what was it, October lows, no, October highs, or on a 0.65%. So just a piece of advice on that side. Right, let's have a quick look. Uh, right, hold on, let me just yep. There you go. I'm just looking at my other screen. Just give me a second, guys. I'm just putting some alerts here. That's right. Right, so let's have a quick look at the US dollar, right? I mean, non-directional moves on the US dollar. So we're going to have to wait and see, how it trades on the open. Quick look on the Dow. As you can see here, this is what I'm telling you, right? Very spiky, very volatile, so I do have a plan for this market. I do have a plan for this market, and hear me out. This is what I'm looking at. Um, sure. I mean, and also what I don't like about this, and what I'm going to tell you is just, I mean, I learned by observation, right? That
Fiscal
when,
news from the
hold on, let me
US.
just
Key
remove
Democrat
this.
says agreement.
Just by observation, right? From years and years of just looking at the open. When any of the big indices presents a setup like this, a break and retest of the previous broken level, but price hasn't really retested that level. At the open, what's going to happen, most of the times is that we are going to have, in this case, a spike up, and then we're going to get that move to the downside. That of course is just stop hunting weak shorts, weak players in the market that were too eager to enter and were or had a fear of missing that trade with stop losses above the daily highs. So my plan is going to be very very simple. I'm going to wait for the open and yeah, I'm going to wait for the open, and if I see that move to the upside and that fake out, here is where I'm going to short it. That's going to be a quick trade. I don't think I'm going to have the time to set it as a VIP. I hopefully I will. If that fake out and that if that fake out and price holds just below that level, I'm going to be able to send that order to the VIPs. But heads up to that. Yeah, to me, it's just way too soon to know the real direction this market is going to take at the open, right? So just have a look at that, and I'm just telling you this because, years and years of just watching the open in these markets, that is what I have figured out. Just have a look at that. This is November 30th, right? Again, break of the lows, a break of the lows, and just have a look at those spikes, right? Now let's go to the very low time frames, the 50-minute chart, just so you can see what actually happened. So, pre-market action, of course, people getting short here without a real retest, right? And then what happened is blam and blam, and then yeah, big money stop hunting those weak players in the market, and then just then after that we got that big sell-off in the Dow. So yeah, just be careful with that. Don't have FOMO in these situations, and you know just observe price action at the open. Just observe how those levels how price reacts to those levels. And if you notice here, let's go to the even lower time frames, mates, because I want to show you something. But I don't remember what day we were watching. Ah, yeah, November 30th, was it? So this is it. This is what I wanted to show you, right? So just have a look at this. I mean, this is just uh, um, this is just what I'm talking about, right? Okay, so this big move at the open, stopping out, weak players or pre-market weak players. And then if you notice here, all right, then we had that fake out and the break below. And then this candle printed above this candle, stopping out those players. Again, you know, normally, scalpers, day traders, mostly, very short-term traders, put their stop losses super close to the highs. And this is another stop hunt or the real stop hunt before the real move to the downside. So players stop getting stopped out before a 1.5% move on the day. So be careful with that. That's the reason that I do not place trades at or pre-market in these markets. Uh-huh. Yep. Hope that brought some I hope this was helpful at least for some of you. Just be careful with that. Let's have a quick last look at the pound yen. At the pound yen. Okay, so the pound yen, my friends. Let's first of all have a look at the yen. Yeah, I mean, this is super bullish still. Super bullish still. I am very, very happy with that trade. Um, and the pound yen, you know, the pound yen again. Let's go to the 50-minute chart just to show you what is going on here. Pound yen came back, retested this previous broken level, the 150.40 level or so. Buyers were unable to close above it. Now we're seeing some sellers stepping in, whilst the Japanese yen again continues its rally. Now on the shorter time frames, yeah, on a let's finish up with this, right? So, if you notice, I talked about my invalidation level on the short term on the pound yen short, right? Which is a Japanese yen long trade, being these previous lows, right? The 140, 150.43 or so, whatever. All right. So if you look at the Japanese yen, because this is a Japanese yen driven trade, we have an invalidation level too, which are these previous broken highs, right? This, my friends, is the candle, oh, I'm sorry, what was it? Yeah, the bullish flag invalidation level. So we had that move to the downside, right? An ABC move. I mean, I am not an Elliott wave trader at all, but let's have a look at some ratios. I mean, let's have a look at some ratios, right? No, you know what? I don't have the time to look at some ratios, and let's not call it an ABC. Let's just call it a flag, right? Um, right here and right here. So the validation level for this flag breakout is this high, right? Or this level that I just put on the line at 93.53 level or so. Here we had a fakey, but now price is trading above that level, right? So I am really not concerned about this little sell-off on the Japanese yen because whilst price is trading above that validation level for the bullish flag, I am super happy on holding my Japanese yen longs, which are the shorts on the pound yen, right? So now, if you're not part of the VIP team, VIP group, I'm explaining this to you because I am very cool. That's just the way I roll. I'm very cool. I don't have to, because this is very, this is very detailed explanation of my thought process on this trade, and my thought process on how to manage that trade, and that is only for my VIPs. But because I'm happy today, I'm doing this, right? So, where was I? I don't even remember. I was bragging about my happiness. All right, so the validation level on the flag breakout. I'm very happy holding on to my Japanese yen longs, whilst price is trading above this validation breakout level for further upside on this market. Now let's have a look at some targets, possible targets on this move. Right now, we're going to grab those fibs. Possible targets at the 161.8, of course, of the flag brings me at around the 94.28. 94.28. And if we have a look at that 8-hour chart, 94.20 is, or 90, the 94.26 is October high. So basically, we are golden with not only with our position right now or our timing in this trade, but we are golden with how the targets on this flag breakup, yeah, you know, on the impulse of the breakout of this bullish flag is placed at because it perfectly confluences with the next massive key level. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about that trade. I'm still holding it. Let's have a look at how that is rolling. Yeah, I mean, just have a look at this, mates. Like I told you, I am really not concerned about a little drawdown on my trades, whilst the rationale or the trade idea is still valid. And the rationale of the trade idea is what I just talked about for the past 20 minutes or so. Yeah, I mean, there you go, a little freebie. And that is the full on scale of what the VIPs get, you know every single time I send a trade. And I do believe that just sending random trades without a real explanation or a thought process, I mean, it's a disservice for traders that are going to follow those trades, right? And also it brings somewhat an educational aspect in the VIP group, which is what we are thriving for next year. So again, if you want to be part of the VIP team, just click the link below and use the code BLACK to get 50% off of your subscription, mates. That That promotion ends in a few hours, so yeah, you should really, really, really consider taking that. Okay, so any more questions? Or not? What's up? What is up? Okay. Uh, kind of tired myself, but that's how it goes. So, yeah, so good luck. Trade safe. Um, you know, Olympia's coming up. Shit, right now. Um, sorry. Olympia's coming up right now. If you want to continue to, enjoy our live shows, um, um, and you should stick because he is really, really good. All right, thank you for joining me, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be live tomorrow for non-farm payrolls, possibly trading Vince, of course, Vince. You're more than welcome. Um, Possibly be trading, if we get that full aligned that data tomorrow, but that for tomorrow, right? Olympio is coming up next. Stick around. He will be sending the link to all the groups. Cheers. Uh-huh.